All right, guys, today we're going to be doing some fall doodle art. It's going to be really fun. Now, there's two different ways that you can do this project. If you have construction paper at home, you can do the part that includes construction paper. If you don't have construction paper, that's okay. I'm going to show you how to do this project the other way with just a white piece of paper, okay? So, first things first, we want a leaf for the middle of our paper. Now, if you have the white piece of paper, you're going to draw your leaf. If you have construction paper, you're going to cut your leaf out. Now, I have this little idea sheet on Canvas for you to look at to kind of get ideas for leaves. But just keep in mind, whatever leaf you do, you want it to be pretty large on your paper. So I have my orange paper here. You can see it's, I guess it's a little bit bigger than my white paper. And I want my leaf to be pretty big on my paper, and I'm still trying to decide if I want my leaf to be red or yellow. I think yellow. So I think I want to do this leaf. So for my friends that have a white piece of paper, that's totally fine. Grab a black marker, sharpie, or crayon, and you can start to draw your leaf in the center of your paper. And sometimes you remember that it helps for you to start with a pencil if you need to. I kind of wish I would have started with a pencil because I already have a couple things I probably would erase, but that's okay. Okay, so there's my leaf in the center of my white piece of paper. Now for this one, I'm going to draw it with a pencil. I think I want to do that same leaf because I think that leaf is cool, but of course you can pick any of the leaves, or if you want to do a different kind of leaf that you already know how to draw, you can do that as well. Okay, so I've drawn it with my pencil. Might be hard to see on the video, but now I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so there's my little leaf. I'm going to get a little glue stick and glue it down. So now you can see the only difference between these now is that this one has color and this one does not. So for those of you that have a white piece of paper, your next step will be with either markers, or if you have even like watercolor paints, you can paint it, but make your background a different color from your leaf. So I wouldn't do crayons or colored pencils for this. Maybe colored pencils would work, but maybe not crayons, because we're going to draw with a black marker or Sharpie over it, and crayons, because they're wax, the Sharpie doesn't really draw over it very well, and you can kind of, even your markers doesn't draw over it very well, and you can actually kind of dry out your Sharpie or your marker by drawing over it. So for this, I would either watercolor it and then wait for it to dry, or you can, like I said, color it with markers, and that would work great as well. So, those of you that need to do that will do that. I'm going to continue to work on this paper because for everything else, it's pretty much exactly the same project. So I'm going to set this aside. Then what you're going to do, my friends, is you're going to break up your space. So I have my black Sharpie, and what I'm going to do, and you can do this again with a black marker or a black crayon, after you have glued down your leaf, and for those of you that are coloring or painting, you need to do your coloring or your painting first before you do this next step. But once you've done that, you need to break up your space with some lines. So I'm just gonna make some wavy kind of diagonal lines across my paper. And I'm gonna try to evenly space them out. And I'm gonna go right over my leaf. And then I'm gonna go the other way. So I'm gonna start making my lines go this way. And again, I'm trying to evenly space them. So you can see now I have these like different sections and spaces. What we're gonna do in those is our doodle art. So I have all of these different idea sheets on canvas that I will put there for you. And there's all of these different ideas for your doodles that you can use to fill up your space. And what's great is you can use your black Sharpie or your black marker or your black crayon, or if you want, you can kind of also mix in like a thinner marker or Sharpie or pen to kind of make varying designs. So I'll show you guys how I kind of start this out, and you guys will see that I'll definitely do some of the designs or patterns from here, but you can also come up with your own, right? So make these really fun, make these really cool. I think just because it's like, you know, almost Halloween and such, I might add a little spider web down here. So there's my first design. I've added a cute little spider web down here, but now I'm just gonna keep going and keep filling up my spaces. I forgot this part. What you also wanna do before you just fill up all your spaces is outline, and those of you that drew your leaf, you already outlined it, but those of you that glued it down, outline your leaf with your Sharpie, and then that makes even more spaces for you to color in, or make designs in, I should say. So now, like, see how this was like one big space, and now this is a space, and then in here's a space. Does that make sense? It's like different, or like over here maybe is a little bit easier to see. This was one big space, but now since I've outlined my leaf, in here is a space, and then out here is a different space. So I'm gonna put two different patterns in those two different spaces. All right, guys, there is my finished fall doodle. I think it's so cute. I'm so happy with it. I'm really excited about having a different pattern in every single space. Even in here, you can see this is a different pattern than here, even though the space was one large space until I broke it up with the side of the leaf. I can't wait to see what kind of fun doodles you guys come up with, or if you want to look at these, that's also great as well, but I can't wait to see how yours turn out.